on around the world. She can't articulate her own economic policies. She can't tell what's different about her policies from Biden's policies. There's just not a whole lot of substance there. And whatever your disagreements about Kamala Harris's policies, and I have many, I don't want a vice president who doesn't even know that we have troops in harm's way. That's not a leader that's fit to serve.
Let that boy cook. That's what I'm saying, bro. Let that boy JD Vance cook. We got JD Vance, bro. You guys know JD Vance. I personally love him. You guys, some of you guys don't like him. Some of you guys, I don't know. You guys, I don't know, bro. Let me know why you guys don't like him in the comments section down below. But basically, ruins Kamala Harris even more than he already has. You guys have already seen my recent video, guys. It's hysterical. Kamala Harris claims to be a change from policies. She's rubber stamped, guys. As you guys, and as I've already said before, I believe Kamala Harris is disingenuous, bro. She's not genuine. I believe she's, I don't know, bro. I just believe she's reading for a book. Like, I believe she's either being told what to say or she's just not genuine. She tries to act genuine, but I don't really see it. I'm on Donald Trump 2024 all the way.
The vice presidential nominee, Senator J.D. Vance, joining me now. Good to see you, sir. Welcome. Thank you very much for being here. What was it like down there when you were standing there with the current vice president, the current president of the United States? We saw a little handshake there. What was that moment like between the two of them? You were right there.
Well, it was cordial and polite, but obviously all of us were there to remember the victims of 9/11. And I'd never been there myself. And of course, an incredibly tragic day in our country's history, a sad day, but also a really beautiful ceremony remembering those that we had lost. And as somebody who had never seen it before, I think the person who affected me the most, and there were so many good testimonials, but there was a 29-year-old woman who talked about losing her father when she was 6 years old, 23 years ago. And I have a 7-year-old boy at home. And you think about all the moments that father was deprived of, all the moments that daughter was deprived of, you know, helping a daughter through first heartache, through homework assignments, through hopefully the moments of triumph, graduation, and hopefully, you know, walking her down the aisle. And you think about all these things that this father gave up and was taken from him, and all the things that were taken from that daughter. And you just can't help but think, magnified, 3,000 individual stories of lives lost, of families torn apart. And it's also, you know, you talked about this earlier, but all these grandkids who never knew their grandfather, never knew their grandmother, but their memories are kept alive in the love and the stories of their family. And again, it is a very tragic thing, but it also is a very beautiful thing because there's a lot of rebuilding and a lot of hope that came out of that tragedy. So just a very moving experience. I think a big day for all of us to see it with our own eyes and to really feel that tragedy up close and personal.
Well, let me ask you this, because the Taliban is back in charge in Afghanistan. All these years, all these lives lost. Later, the Taliban's back in charge. We have people on the terror watch list crossing the border. So this is a day that I think it's really important to reflect and recognize these families. But I also think it's really important to think about the threat that exists today.
Of course.
It's not something that we ever hear much about from the White House. What's your take on how much danger we're in now?
Yeah, Martha, we need to prevent this from ever happening again. Of course, what we should take from that moment, from that incredible ceremony this morning, is it's terrible and there is a lot of hope that came out of it, but we can't ever let this happen again. Go back to 9/11. That cost $500,000 for al-Qaeda and the Taliban to plan and execute that operation. We have given the Taliban, just since the fall of the Afghan government, hundreds of millions of dollars in direct American taxpayer aid. If they can do 9/11 with $500,000, what can they do?
Imagine what they can do with hundreds of millions of dollars, bro. This is it. This is why he's the GOAT, though. This is why I personally love JD Vance, bro. Straight to the point, straight to the narrative, bro. Knows exactly where he's going, direct and just forward, bro. Tunnel vision, like, and he's not afraid to speak, bro. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. They did that with 500K. Imagine what they can do with hundreds of millions, bro. America's ruined with that. Hundreds of millions. If they can do that with 500K 9/11, rest in peace to every single person who was fallen in 9/11. Rest in peace to, and like, condolences to all families, bro. Even though it happened a long time ago, obviously, bro. I wasn't even born when it happened, bro. But it's crazy. Like, it's just crazy. But yeah, imagine what they can do with hundreds of millions, bro. It's scary, it's dangerous, and it's just not right.
hundreds of millions of dollars of American taxpayer money. Kamala Harris has done nothing to stop that flow of money to the Taliban. At the same time, she's opened the border.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Sorry, guys. I'm not. Let's let JD Vance talk.
Allowing God knows how many of those fighters, military-age males, to come into our border completely unchecked and uncontrolled. So I really do believe, as tragic as today is, that we are as a greater risk of a terror attack in this country as we've been since 9/11. I hope to God it doesn't happen, but if it does, God forbid, it will be because Kamala Harris has not done her job and has not kept us safe.
Well, as someone who joined the Marines, I think we're going to listen. The president speaking. Stay with us if you would. Let's listen.
And no, we're looking at it, but you know, when you win, you don't really necessarily have to do it a second time. So we'll see. But I thought we had a great debate last night. Thank you very much.
What would need to change for you to agree to a second debate? Would you want different rules? Would you want a different format?
Pause. So, boom, guys. I just opened up a brand new community for you guys. If you guys want to learn how I'm doing big on YouTube, how I'm doing big on TikTok, I have 300+ on TikTok. I have 70K on YouTube on our main channel. I have just started a reaction channel, which you guys are watching right now. So, boom. All you guys have to do is click the first link in the description. It's going to send you to the memberships. Become a member, bro. And I'm going to send you a Discord link. You're going to join that Discord link and you're going to get videos in there. You're going to have a community of people in there. There's like-minded who wants to do YouTube. Who wants to get this internet money. Let's get this internet money together, bro. I'm not big yet, but I'm going to be there, bro. You guys want to get there too? Let's get it together. Let's go. Bam. First things first. Let's completely change the host of the debate. Let's change ABC. Because that was the worst and, like, most disgusting, like, favoritistic shit I've ever seen in my life, bro. There was 100% Kamala Harris the whole way through. Didn't ask really any questions endangering Kamala Harris to pressure her in any type of way. Completely pressured Donald Trump. Pressured him to the max, guys. I don't know if you guys saw the debate, but it was disgusting to watch, bro. It's basically a 3 versus 1. And he held his ground, don't get me wrong, but he didn't land the plane like he should have landed the plane, bro. The plane was basically hovering and like landing and back up. He didn't land it smooth, bro. He could have went, yeah, man. Like, I'm disappointed with the way he acted in that debate, to be honest. And I think Kamala Harris won, unfortunately, bro.
You know, when you don't win, it's like a fighter. When a fighter has a bad fight, gets knocked out or loses the fight, the first thing he says is, we want a rematch.
Yeah.
So we won the debate according to every poll, every single poll. I think that, are we going to do a rematch? I just don't know. But we'll think about it.
Would you still do the one on NBC?
Is that true? Did they really win the polls? Is that true?
I would do NBC. I'd do Fox too. I'd do Fox too. But right now we have to determine whether or not we even want to do it. We had a great night last night. And you see by the poll numbers, it was really fantastic.
Don't go back to ABC.
Former President Trump has spent the entire day, really, remembering September 11th, talking to firefighters. He spent a lot of time in there with family members, and you just saw the press asking a question about whether or not there's going to be another debate. Do you think there should be another debate?
I think it's ultimately up to the president. I do think the president had a very good night, and I know the pundits are trying to tell this story that Kamala Harris knocked him off his game or got under his skin. But if you look at how undecided voters reacted to last night, if you look at the complete lack of any real specificity to Kamala Harris' plans, this is a person who's been vice president for 3.5 years, has presided over record inflation, a wide open southern border, and yet has these super vague slogans for how she's going to fix it if the American people give her a promotion. I think most Americans who saw that, they just don't buy it. They don't believe that this person is going to be radically different than she has been in the past 3.5 years. So I think the president had a great night. It's ultimately up to him. Obviously, he likes.
Speaks in slogans, like speaks to the audience as if we're children, bro. Like as if we're dumb. Like, I don't know whether she thinks she talking to America, bro, the world, or her kids, because it's like it's not adding up. Like, bro, talk to people properly how you would like to be spoken to, not with slogans and behind the wall trying to like, I have a plan to do this and do this and do this. However, you've been in power for 3.5 years and still haven't done anything. Open borders crazy. The crime rate's probably going up crazy. We're having immigrants everywhere. Immigrants is everywhere, guys. Taking over in Canada, bro. We got Indians, and I think Indians are in Canada, bro, right now. Bro, you guys know Canada, bro. If I'm right, I definitely might be wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm a little bit tired. Don't get me wrong. I might be wrong, but Indians in Canada, bro. Like, you guys know Canada's a very white-based country. Like, hey, Immigrants are taking over right now. Why? Because of Kamala Harris.
These debates, and he's good.
It wasn't like this
So
when
I wouldn't
Donald
be
Trump was
surprised if
leader.
He wants to step back in the ring, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't. It's his choice.
Well, you know, you mentioned independent voters, and I always think, you know, we all are so caught up in the coverage. We watch every single second. We watch, you know, we listen to each other's commentary on all of this. But it falls differently, I think, when the American people watch it at home in many ways, because, you know, they're finishing up the dinner dishes and they come back and they watch a little bit more, and then they see a lot of these bits on social media the next day. But this was our dials. Lee Carter does the dials, and I thought this was very interesting this morning when I was watching this. Watch what happens, as you just said, with independent voters. The question was on the economy, and I just want to point out before you look at this, so you don't have to take a second to figure it out. The red line is the Republicans who are dialing up or down for the approval. Yellow is independents dialing up or down, and blue is Democrats watching who are dialing as well. Watch this.
She doesn't have a plan. She copied Biden's plan, and it's like 4 sentences.
Wow.
Like run, spot, run. 4 sentences that are just, oh, we'll try and lower taxes. She doesn't have a plan. They had the highest inflation perhaps in the history of our country, because I've never seen a worse period of time. People can't go out and buy cereal or bacon or eggs or anything else. The people of our country are absolutely dying with what they've done.
Unfortunately, there were not that many questions about the economy. The number one issue, but that was one of them.
Yeah, which of course was, I think, a real oversight from the moderators. But look, we still talked enough about the economy. You saw the president there making his case, and you obviously see independent voters who are the most important voters. They're the voters who will determine the election, responding very favorably to it. Look, people just don't buy that Kamala Harris is somehow the change agent. She's been vice president for 3.5 years. She supported the open border. She supported ending remain in Mexico. She supported ending deportations, and she of course cast the tie-breaking vote for the Inflation Explosion Act. So it's hysterical, frankly, for Kamala Harris to say, I represent a departure from the very policies that I've been rubber stamping for 3.5 years. The American people don't buy it. I think the president did a very good job at reminding people just how much Kamala Harris bears responsibility.
Yeah, that's one thing he did great in the debate. He definitely tore her down, as in like, okay, so he let her speak. He let her speak. He let her have her piece. I have a plan. And then Donald Trump's like, okay, 3.5 years, where's the plan? Like reminding the people watching the debate as like, okay, because she has a way of manipulating the audience to be like, okay, yo, she has a plan. Like this is good. I like the way this plan's sounding. Then Donald Trump's like, okay, 3.5 years in leadership. Where's the plan? And then everyone's like, oh wait, where is that plan? Like, what? He's right. Back to Donald Trump. Vote, 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 vote. He did that good in the debate, to be fair. I still think Kamala Harris won, unfortunately, but like Donald Trump did good with that, to be honest. I didn't know he won with the votes either until now.
I want to ask you another question about the military, because this is a moment when she claimed that we don't have any combat veterans in action at this moment. And as a former veteran, or as a veteran, I should say, I want to ask you about this. Let's watch this.
As of today, there is not one member of the United States military who is in active duty in a combat zone in any war zone around the world.
Incredible. And for me, it's a bookend to President Biden on June 27th saying that no one had been killed. No American service member had been killed, which to ignore what happened at Abbey Gate was so reprehensible. I think it's one of the reasons that he's no longer in the race.
Well,
but your take on what she said.
Martha, it's astonishing for the vice
No longer in the race because bro's old as hell, has an earpiece in his ear and had no idea what was going on, did an absolute terrible job as president, and he knew he wasn't going to win. He knew it was a waste of time. Let's let Kamala Harris run instead. Kamala Harris is basically another Joe Biden. Donald Trump said it himself in the debate. She's basically trying to hide herself from not being with Joe Biden, but she's basically another Joe Biden.
President to say this. Just a couple of weeks ago, you had American troops who were seriously injured, likely by Iranian-backed militias. The fact that she actually serves as the vice president and is apparently unaware that the people serving underneath her are not just in harm's way, they're not just in a combat zone, Martha, they have been actually injured in just the last couple of weeks. And again, it shows how thin and superficial Kamala Harris's entire approach to public policy is. This is a person who doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't know what's going on around the world. She can't articulate her own economic policies. She can't tell what's different about her policies from Biden's policies. There's just not a whole lot of substance there. And whatever your disagreements about Kamala Harris's policies, and I have many, I don't want a vice president who doesn't even know that we have troops in harm's way. That's not a leader that's fit to serve.
Let that boy cook. That's what I'm saying, bro. Let that boy JD Vance cook. That's why he's the GOAT, bro. That's why JD Vance is him, bro. Let that boy cook, alright? That boy ain't stopped cooking. That pot ain't gonna burn. That pot don't burn when JD Vance is in charge, nigga. My fault. Yo, I'm getting too excited. Like, bro, he's sick, man.
I mean, you look at Syria,
everything he just said was straight 100% facts.
You
guys can't tell me no different.
The Houthi rebels. There are Americans. I heard Joey Jones talking about this morning. I thought he was eloquent on this, talking about the fact that every one of those people could be activated within minutes. So they are there to protect. They are there when you know what hits the fan, to be ready to protect American interests at any moment. I also, this story's gotten almost no attention, but I've been keeping an eye on it. This Pakistani individual who was arrested on July 12th, the day before the assassination attempt on President Trump, apparently at the direction of Iran, was here to try to kill President Biden or President Trump. And, Iran's role in all of this, I think, I don't know why it's not getting more attention, but it also is something I think that could blow up any minute.
It should get more attention, and it's one of the reasons why the Iranians have leverage over us is that wide open southern border. We have no idea how many active terror cells that are operating within this country right now because they've been welcomed in across that wide open southern border.
They have no idea, and they will never know how many. They would never know because the borders. Like I had listened to a podcast yesterday about the border situation. Fresh and Fit, by the way, guys. Go check that out. Fresh and Fit, basically, there's a border patrol officer basically like leaking everything, telling everything. It's crazy, guys, the way that these immigrants can get in our country and stay. Not our country, guys. Not obviously, I'm not American, but can get in a country, right, and pretty much rightfully stay in that country, guys. Before any of this Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, they wasn't allowed to do that. They had 2 weeks and they had to go back. 2 weeks and they had to go back to where they came from, or instantly, if it's like Mexico, because it's literally next door. But it's crazy, like, yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie, it's the border problem is gonna be, it's gonna be a problem for a while, man. It's been open too long. There's too many different ways to get in now. I don't know how they're gonna fix that. Unless Donald Trump can find a way to fix that. You can stop it, but it's too late. There's already been, you feel me? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section down below, guys.
Eventually have to respond to some crisis in the world, and these guys are going to be in a better position to hit back against us because of who Kamala Harris has led into this country. So the border, I think President Trump made this point last night. It's such an important point. The border is connected to everything. The border has made our national security weaker. It's given the bad guys leverage over our country. You let in 25 million illegal aliens, it drives up the cost of housing because foreigners who shouldn't be here are competing with Americans for scarce homes. Everything has gotten worse under Kamala Harris's leadership. The border's a big part of it, and it drives so much of what's broken in this country.
So how was your experience watching last night when you think about the fact that you are up next, or maybe up next, depending on how things go? And, of course, we're hoping we're going to see another presidential debate, and we'd love to do it here. How are you preparing? What's your method of preparation against Governor Walz?
Well, by the way, I appreciate you guys being willing to host these debates. It's very important. And unfortunately, you have Vice President Harris and Tim Walz, who are effectively running from the American media, running from hostile media, running from friendly media. And I think it's really disgrace. I mean, the way that I think about this is it's an opportunity, right? I get 90 minutes to talk to the American people about how Donald Trump can make their lives better, about how his vision for fixing inflation, for lowering the cost of housing and securing that southern border, and why they should elect him president of the United States to make their lives better. So it's 90 minutes where we're going to talk about a lot of policy. I'm trying to read and just understand as much as possible, what Tim Walz has done, what policies he supported, and how it's so different from the prosperity and peace that Donald Trump delivered. I want to talk to people, and I get an opportunity to do that for 90 minutes. So we're going to try to be as well versed in the policy, because that's ultimately what's going to make people's lives better as it happened under Donald Trump, or worse as it's happened under Kamala Harris.
Guys, let me know in the comment section down below. Are you guys for Kamala Harris, or are you guys for Donald Trump? Let me know if you guys like JD Vance, if you guys believe in the movement. If not, let me know in the comments. Just let me know what you guys think. Obviously, I'm an outsider looking in, but like, it's very interesting, guys. Like I said, politics is interesting. It really is interesting. If you're interested in money, if you're interested in power, guys, that's exactly what you should be into, bro. Is politics, because that's exactly where it's led by, politics. Yeah, man. Let me know. I'm Donald Trump all the way. I hope Donald Trump can win. As you guys saw by the votes, Kamala ain't got no chance. But like, you never know, because I don't want to speak too much. But how did Joe Biden get in? How did he become president in the first place? Rigged? I don't know. Let me know. I'm out though. Make sure you guys comment. Peace.
Bye. Have a great time.